Hi everybody, Armored Pants here, and I have another video for you. This time we are looking at the importance of the setup in gameplay and how utilizing the setup can determine not only what you do in the opening part of the game, but also how successful your entire game can be. So it's really important. So we're going to have a look at some gameplay. In a second I'm running the Jackson, the Tier 6 American TD. We're going to have a look at, by utilizing and studying the setup, that I'm actually able to then determine the whole gameplay that I use and basically ensure that I have a significantly better game than I might otherwise. So let's run the gameplay. Let's have a look at that now. So as you can see, it is the Jackson. We are running the Jackson on it is Castilla, which is actually a kind of decent enough map for a TD. As we watch the countdown here, you can see I've opened up the setup, right? And what I'm doing is I kept it open for quite a few seconds as I was studying it. Why? Well, I wanted to see what was on the opposition team, right? And by studying that, because there's various options open to you on any map, particularly Castilla in a TD, as to what to do, where to go, right? So what I decided to do was, I'm going to adopt this position here on the cliffs opposite B, and sort of where you can dominate the map. Now this is a position on the map which can be really effective in a TD, but unfortunately you can be spotted up easily from the Castilla itself, the hilltop with the church, or from maps, or from on the map at base C. So you can spot it up easily, and then once you're spotted, you are basically a sitting duck because you're way up on top of this hill, you're way exposed, and there's a big gun on the opposite team. Your game can be over before it begins. But what we're doing in this instance is, because we have looked at the setup, I'm pretty sure most of their tanks are going to go towards A, and it means that I can move up onto this sniping position. And pretty much sure, can't be positive of course, you never can be, but I'm pretty much sure that I can remain unspotted there using my camo net and keep enough distance between me and the enemy tanks to make sure that I can actually snipe successfully throughout the game. So you can see here that, by the way, what the Black Prince was doing there, I have no idea, but in the end he fell off the mountain, so I don't really know what to say about that. But you can see here that you know, I've been able to open up you know, significant amount of fields of fire. So basically where I can put my shells into. I have been putting shells into both A and C area, and I still remain unspotted. And you can see here I've already done 805 damage, and I'm still looking for targets. Now when you're up in this position here, you'll notice that I'm letting the turret traverse on its own, and I'm not using the tracks to traverse the tank faster. Why is that? Well, when you're running camo net, if the turret moves, it doesn't break camouflage, but if you move the tracks, it breaks camouflage. So therefore, to conserve my concealment numbers, I am only using the turret. Now that means my traverse is a lot slower, but I'm compensated, more than compensated, by the fact that I am not breaking my concealment numbers, not breaking my camo net, and then you can see get a kill on the icebreaker. So guys, just a small tip there, don't move the tracks, and even though the turret is moving slowly, you're not going to be spotted. So I have remained unspotted now, and it's only at this point here into the game that I finally get spotted after shooting around at that BP. You can see the light bulb. It's the first time it's gone over me for the whole game. So we're already, you know, significantly into the game. We're already almost halfway through the game, 3 seconds 40, whatever. And you can see that I have only been spotted up once. I'm able to go back into cover, reset my camo, and here I go again. And I'm going to do a lot more damage. In the end, I do almost 3.5k of damage in this, which is phenomenal for a tier 6 tank. I'm utilizing the gun depression and the mobility of the Jackson to move up and down on the hill here. Kind of fluffed that shot there, but overall this sort of position, I mean, here if we look at the at the angle of my tank vis-a-vis the outcrop in front of me, it means it's difficult for me to be hit, and I can put in a lot of shots. I saw a very nice shot into the KV-1S. Going to put another one into him here. Going to get a shot into the Strav on the way down. Nice shot into him too. And now we're reaping a lot of damage. We're up to almost 3k of damage. Doing some blind shots. You can see there the P43 is saying I'm a camper. Don't really understand why he's saying that, because I'm a TD. That's my job, right? It's some fucking point to me. It's my raison d'etre. Also, we have a video on explaining the difference between camping and sniping, right? Camping is when you're sitting there not active, doing nothing in the game. Sniping is when you're actively contributing to your team's win. And you'll see here in this game, when we look at the scores, there's a massive carry from me in this game. So you see they're almost 3.5k of damage, and if you compare it, it's 3.5 times more than the damage of the next guy. So massive carry from me, and we would have won that game if I hadn't adopted that strategy. So I don't really know what that P43 was talking about. In fact, when people make comments like that in games, it shows more about them than it does about you, because basically what they're saying to you is, I don't fucking understand the game at all. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm just kind of saying stuff that I read other people say about noobs, camping, whatever, you know. But you can see there, by thinking about the setup at the start of the game, analysing the other tanks, anticipating where they're going to go, I'm actually able to have a fantastic game. And without that setup analysis, I don't think that would have happened. Now, the setup analysis is something which we should all be doing. But what I've noticed is that even some very experienced players, sometimes, particularly when they get frustrated after playing for a number of games in a row or chasing a mastery badge, sometimes just rush into it or forget or couldn't be arsed doing it. So we need to be disciplined in that, because analysing the setup can determine not just the opening sequence of the game, but indeed your whole game and how successful it is. So guys, basic lesson is analyse that setup, spend a little bit extra time on it, and you will have a better game, you'll have better play, and you will reach that holy grail, which we're always looking at here on channel, which is to become more consistent in our gameplay, because we can all have a great game now and again, but what we really want to do is be consistent in our gameplay. And if we manage to set up analysis more consistently, we will have more consistent and better gameplay. So guys, I hope you found that useful, I hope you found it enjoyable, and now I guess all that remains for me to say is, as always, pants off.